The African sun rises. It paints the sky with vibrant hues of orange and gold. The Tanzanian savanna awakens. Vast plains stretch as far as the eye can see. The land is dry but teeming with life. The wind whispers through the tall grasses. This is the domain of the Hadzabe. They are a tribe untouched by the modern world. Their story is one of survival, resilience, and ancient wisdom. We journey now to the heart of their world. Here, in the shadow of the Great Rift Valley, we discover a way of life unchanged for generations. The Hadzabe village is a humble one. It is a cluster of simple huts nestled amongst the acacia trees. The structures blend seamlessly into the surrounding landscape. Children's laughter echoes through the village. Women gather, their voices a low murmur as they sort through the day's foraged food. The men tend to their weapons, crafted with skill and knowledge passed down through centuries. The Hadzabe way of life is a testament to human resilience. The Hadzabe are hunter-gatherers. They live off the land, taking only what they need. Their knowledge of the bush is extraordinary. They can identify edible plants, track wild animals, and locate water sources hidden deep within the earth. Their diet is one dictated by the seasons. Join us as we journey into the heart of Africa to experience the world of one of humanity's last true hunter-gatherer tribes. The Hadzabe live in tune with nature's rhythm. They wake with the sun and sleep under a blanket of stars. The dry season brings the challenge of finding water. The Hadzabe men dig deep into the dry riverbeds, extracting precious water. The wet season brings a flush of life to the savanna. Plants burst into bloom, providing sustenance for the Hadzabe. The women gather these treasures of the earth. Their laughter echoes through the bush, a symphony of life and community. The men wear animal hides, a symbol of their hunting prowess. The women adorn themselves with beads and colorful fabrics, a celebration of life and individuality. Their meals are a celebration of nature's provisions. The Hadzabe are masters of their craft. The men's bows are crafted from acacia trees, carefully shaped and seasoned. The arrows, fashioned from slender reeds and tipped with poison, are lethal instruments. The women weave intricate baskets from dried grasses using techniques passed down for centuries. These baskets are both beautiful and functional. Each tool, each basket, is a tangible link to their ancestors. The Hadzabe are the keepers of ancient knowledge. They can identify hundreds of plant species, distinguishing between edible, medicinal, and poisonous varieties. Their tracking skills are legendary. They can decipher the subtlest of signs, reading the language of the bush. The Hadzabe possess a deep spiritual connection to their land. Their ancient wisdom offers valuable insights into sustainable living. The first light of dawn creeps over the savanna. The Hadzabe men stir, preparing for the hunt. This is a sacred ritual, passed down through generations. Each man carries the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. They venture out into the bush, their bare feet moving silently over the dry earth. They are masters of camouflage, blending seamlessly with the shadows. The air is alive with anticipation. The hunt is a test of skill, a celebration of their ancient bond with the wild. The Hadzabe move through the bush with an almost supernatural grace. They are attuned to every sound, every movement, every scent. Their knowledge of animal behavior is extraordinary. They can identify tracks with a single glance, determine the age and size of an animal from its droppings. Their senses are heightened, sharpened by years of living in this unforgiving landscape. The success of the hunt hinges on their ability to remain undetected. The Hadzabe hunters have located their prey. a small group of gazelles grazing peacefully. The hunters fan out, surrounding the unsuspecting animals. The lead hunter signals the others. An arrow whistles through the air, finding its mark. The startled gazelles scatter, but it is too late. The Hadzabe give chase, relentless in their pursuit. The fallen gazelle is surrounded. The hunters gather, their faces etched with relief and elation. Respect is paid to the animal. They acknowledge its sacrifice, its role in sustaining their way of life. The gazelle is butchered with skill and precision, every part utilized. As the sun begins its descent, the hunters return to the village. They are greeted with cheers and songs, a celebration of their skill and bravery. The hunt is over, but its significance will resonate throughout the community. The setting sun casts long shadows across the savannah. The air carries the rich aroma of roasting meat. Word of the hunters' success has already reached the village. Children race out to meet the returning hunters. The women, their faces etched with relief and gratitude, emerge from their huts. The hunters, weary but triumphant, are greeted as heroes. Their arrival reaffirms the bonds that hold their community together. The gazelle is carefully carried to the center of the village, where it will be prepared and shared. And the heart of the Hadzabe village is ablaze with firelight. The flames cast flickering shadows on the faces of the gathered tribe. Tonight, the Hadzabe celebrate. The women prepare the gazelle, utilizing every part. The men share stories of the chase, their voices filled with laughter. As the meat cooks, anticipation reaches fever pitch. Children weave between the gathered adults, their laughter adding to the symphony of sounds. The elders look on, a sense of quiet contentment on their faces. The feast is a communal affair, a reminder of their interconnectedness. As they eat, they give thanks for the bounty of the land and the strength of their community. As the flames of the bonfire die down, the spirit of celebration lingers. The rhythmic clapping of hands, the haunting melody of a traditional song rises above the whispers of the night. The women chant ancient melodies, their voices blending in harmonious unison. The men add their voices to the chorus, their movements telling stories without words. As the night deepens, the dancing reaches a crescendo. The Hadzabe lose themselves in the rhythm of their heritage. As dawn breaks over the savannah, a profound sense of peace settles over the Hadzabe village. The remnants of last night's bonfire smolder gently. The Hadzabe way of life, though increasingly threatened, is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Their deep connection to nature and their ancient traditions serve as a powerful reminder of a simpler, more sustainable way of being. Theirs is a story of survival, adaptation, and finding harmony in a world that often forgets its roots. In preserving the Hadzabe's world, we just might save our own. The sun, high above the Tanzanian plains, casts a harsh glare on the landscape. The wind, usually a symphony of whispers through the tall grasses, carries a different tune today. It carries a tension, a sense of unease, that settles over the Hadzabe village like a shroud. Gone is the carefree laughter of children, replaced by a hushed silence. The women, usually busy with their daily tasks, gather in small worried groups, their faces etched with concern. Even the men, their postures usually radiating an air of quiet confidence, seem to carry the weight of an unseen burden. The reason for their disquietude is visible on the horizon. A dark smudge, growing with each passing hour, mars the pristine landscape. It is the smoke of progress, the harbinger of change, signaling the relentless advance of the modern world into the Hadzabe's ancestral domain. For generations, the Hadzabe have lived in harmony with nature. their lives intricately intertwined with the rhythms of the savannah. But now, their very existence is threatened by forces beyond their control. Their ancient way of life, once a testament to human resilience, is caught in the crosshairs of progress. The encroachment is insidious, a creeping tide of change that threatens to engulf the Hadzabe's way of life. Where once the land stretched as far as the eye could see, a patchwork of fences and cultivated fields now scars the landscape. The relentless advance of agriculture, driven by the demands of a growing population, leaves the Hadzabe squeezed into ever-shrinking pockets of their ancestral territory. The once abundant wildlife, the lifeblood of the Hadzabe, is dwindling. The animals, disoriented and displaced by the loss of habitat, are becoming increasingly scarce. The hunters, their skills honed over millennia, return to the village with empty hands more often than not. The laughter that once accompanied a successful hunt is replaced by a gnawing anxiety about the future. The influx of outsiders, drawn to the region by the promise of economic opportunity, brings with it a new set of challenges. The Hadzabe, their traditional ways often misunderstood or disregarded, find themselves increasingly marginalized, their voices drowned out in the clamor for progress. The lure of the modern world, with its promises of comfort and convenience, is a constant temptation for the younger generation. The allure of cell phones, of Western clothing, of a life beyond the savannah, is a powerful force threatening to unravel the fabric of their ancient traditions. Despite the daunting challenges they face, the Hadzabe are not giving up without a fight. With the support of a handful of dedicated individuals and organizations, they are fighting to protect their ancestral lands and preserve their unique way of life for future generations. These modern-day guardians, armed not with bows and arrows but with the power of law and the passion of advocacy, are working tirelessly to raise awareness about the Hadzabe's plight. They are the voice of the voiceless, amplifying the concerns of a people whose whispers might otherwise be lost in the wind. They understand that the fight to save the Hadzabe is not just about preserving a culture, it's about recognizing the intrinsic value of diversity, about understanding that the loss of even a single way of life diminishes us all. They are working to establish legal frameworks that recognize the Hadzabe's land rights, to create economic opportunities that are sustainable and culturally sensitive, and to empower the Hadzabe to become the architects of their own future. The task ahead is daunting but not insurmountable. The Hadzabe, with their resilience honed over millennia, have faced challenges before. With the support of those who recognize the importance of their existence, they just might succeed in safeguarding their future. As we leave the heart of the Tanzanian savannah, the image of the Hadzabe people remains etched in our minds. Their existence is a powerful testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. They remind us that true wealth lies in our connection to the natural world and to each other. Their days are governed by the rhythms of the sun and the seasons. They face challenges with resilience and resourcefulness. The Hadzabe offer a profound lesson that true happiness is in appreciating the simple abundance around us. They demonstrate the power of community, where sharing is a way of life. Their existence holds a mirror up to our own. It prompts us to re-evaluate our relationship with the natural world. The future of the Hadzabe people hangs in the balance. Their land and way of life face pressures from globalization, climate change, and development. The loss of cultural diversity is a loss for all humanity. The time to act is now. We must support their struggles and advocate for their rights. Their story is our story. Their struggle is our struggle. The time to act is now. before their laughter fades into silence.